The Fantastic Four First Steps comes out this week, but did you know the first actual attempt to bring the Fantastic Four to the big screen was one that was never meant to be released? The Fantastic Four 1994 had a $1 million budget and a virtually unknown cast. I watched this film for the first time off of a shitty VHS ripoff of a random website, as well as the documentary made about this film. In the 1990s, Marvel was having a really tough time, not just in the making of films around their characters, but as a company in general. To try to prevent themselves from going bankrupt, Marvel threw all their characters to a bunch of random studios. New Constantine, a production company you've probably never heard of, owned the rights to Fantastic Four, but by 1992, their option was about to run out. You know what they did? They hired Roger Corman, a producer who's known for making a lot of inexpensive films, to adapt for the first time ever the Fantastic Four. Roger Corman is also known for being very quick, so he went into production with this almost immediately, which was the plan almost. Apparently he had only 4 drafts of an actual script. There was very little screening process in terms of actors that they were actually hiring. There was no sort of set rehearsal. There was no monitor for the actual camera so the director could watch anything that was actually going on. A lot of the sets were reused sets from other Roger Corman films. It was a cheap movie made very quick, but the production did its very best with what it had. Like with the VFX needed for this project, $1 million just could not cut it. The VFX of the film actually does have a mix of practical and a mix of this, which I do enjoy. I like the B-movie charm of everything. This low budget but earnest attempt at bringing all these characters to film is respectable. Documentary, hearing all these actors get so excited about what they thought that the role was going to be, what they thought it was going to do to their careers. The filmmakers were told it was going to be this big thing. They had a trailer ready. The actors were attending Comic-Cons. Going to have their film premiere at the Mall of America out of any place. That they were very quietly told that this film was never going to officially release. Now, why is that I mentioned? Well, of course, the main reason that I stated already, rights reasons. Their option for the characters was just a fancy way of saying how long they retained the rights was going to run out at the end of 1992. So you know what they did do? They started production of a film in 1992. Rushed everything about the film from the beginning script stages to the ending editing stages, even going as far as to promote this film with a trailer, convention appearances, they had magazines. It's really strange the treatment that they had with this film. Is it a well-made film because of that? No, but there's so much unintentional or intentional charm that comes with it. It is an incredibly hollow interpretation of these characters that has been done better in fairly still bad projects. There's some fucking laughable line delivery, but at the same time, there's just like a good, solid score. The thing has a practical animatronic head that you can't help but just like, it's impressive. The narrative around this film is, it was so bad that you couldn't actively release it. When in actuality, one of the producers of the film was actually working on a completely separate, supposed to be big budget film with Chris Columbus, the guy responsible for making Home Alone, Mrs. Doubtfire, the first Harry Potter movie, meaning this film was made almost entirely so they could have more time and effort put into this different version, which eventually became the 2005 version we all know, and some love. Stan Lee apparently had no faith despite visiting the set multiple times. Avi Arad apparently bought copies for millions just to burn them, and yet you're still somehow able to see after all of these years a shitty, grainy version of it out there in the universe. And I think that's pretty cool. Did you know this movie existed? Are you excited for the new one? Remember, all movies are art, and of course, follow for more.